Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I want to come in real early and share a few thoughts with you. So I'll give you a couple of seconds for everybody to come on in. Uh, Norris Williams, investor and motivator, coming to share some thoughts with you real quickly on getting started because this is a daily journey. This is a daily journey, and some days you're just not gonna feel like it. I know I feel like that a lot, but I know there's a greater vision to be had. I know there's a better life to be lived, and I have to just get myself in gear. So I want to talk about that a little bit this morning. Give you a little bit more time to come in, and I know a lot of y'all are preparing for work or whatever your day might consist of. Some of you might be off today. Some of you may be on vacation. I'm not sure. That light is bright. Got a new light. It's kind of bright too. So I just want to talk about, some of those days where you're just not feeling it. And I think a lot of that is attributed to being tied to a greater purpose to give you that, what the smart people call ethereal energy, that extra energy that keeps you going. Even when you're tired, it makes you go over the top. And that comes with when you're pursuing something of purpose, something that really makes your heart sing. And so many of us are not doing that. So I believe a lot of it comes into play when, just like with muscles, if you don't exercise, your muscles will atrophy. They'll just be normal. They'll just be, if you don't use them long enough, they'll lose their function. But until you exercise your muscles can't possibly be as strong as they could be. And we do the same thing with our minds. We don't exercise our minds a lot. We don't really. And what I say about that is going out and do things that really make us feel great on the inside, that gives us the extra sense of energy. A lot of us are not really pursuing that. And for so long, I did that myself because, I was taught, go to school, get a good job, work 40 years, retire and live off 40%. And that's pretty much life. But there was always something that I couldn't accept that. Something about that math just didn't add up. And I'll share with you the first time I knew something was wrong with that equation or with that formula. A lot of you know my father, Norris Williams Sr., may you rest in peace, Pops. He was an electrician. Like he could electricity everything. That's just when he came back from the Vietnam War. He got into a program that was basically placing minorities and helping minorities get into like city positions, like government positions or public works facilities. So he ended up being the light man. So he worked in electricity. I think he started in maybe the year after I was born. So like 75, maybe even 76. And that's what his career was. His whole career was he was the light man. So, he fixed the lights on the poles. He fixed the transformers. He would help with digging the ditches. And that was his thing. And what I vividly remember about him doing that job is when a big storm would come or a tornado or whatever, and all the lights went out in the city, or some of the lights went out in the city, or everybody else's dad was sleeping in the bed being safe, my daddy had to go to work. And that's when like beepers were the thing. So like when that beeper went off, me and my brother both knew daddy got to work. And it could be 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and it's raining sideways outside and the wind is blowing crazy. And my daddy got to go up and climb up on a pole to fix a transformer in this weather. He did that. And a lot of his buddies did that for a long time. He did it for 30, I believe the cumulative was 32 years. But he never complained, though. He never complained. And then when he retired, now this is when he retired. Actually, when he retired the first time, I was in college. So I didn't know a whole lot about finance and retirement and all that kind of stuff. I was still on the regular track, the track that I was told was the way to go. I was still on that track. And I was excited to be on that track because I thought that was the ultimate way to success. So I remember after he retired, he got his little retirement statement or whatever. And for whatever reason, we were sitting down and he just handed it to me and said, well, Junior, here's what he called me. Junior, this is what I got. So I'm not going to repeat the amount. But even then, in my young mind, when I open it up, and for 32 years of service, this is what you got. And it was a decent sized number, but to me, in my young mind, I couldn't make sense of you worked from dawn to dusk in the rain. He even had. I remember when Hurricane Alicia happened in Houston. He came to Houston to work for a month to help everybody get the lights on because that hurricane was devastating. I believe it was that was in '83 that he had to come to Houston and work. And when I look at that amount, I'm like, okay, hold on, something is wrong with this. So it was at that moment that I began to look around, and then I talked before about things that happened during my lifetime that I knew something was wrong with the equation. But this was like the crowning thing where, like, I'm getting older now. I got to figure out something different because this is crazy. You worked all these years and this is all you got? I felt unappreciated for him. I felt like they disrespected him or they disregarded him to pay this. It wasn't exactly a small amount of money, but it definitely wasn't equivalent to what he should have been getting for that many years of service. And I even looked back later on as I was going through, after he died and we were going through all this stuff. And I saw what my dad's salary was. And I was like, that's what they paid you for all the stuff you did? Now, this is like after I was grown, so I really understood what salary was, cost of living and all that. When I really understood that, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So that's when the entrepreneurial wheels really begin to turn. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out something different because this is not going to get it. This is not going to get it. And I was like, he raised a family and we had a house and he even bought me a car when I turned 16 off of this. This is crazy. So that was the first seed planted in me that I knew that, okay, I need to figure out how do I maximize my worth. And it'll probably be outside of just having a job. And like, once again, like I said, I'm not knocking jobs. I'm just saying for me personally, I knew that my maximizing my worth had to be outside of working for someone. So that started me on the path of trying to figure this whole wealth entrepreneurship thing out. And like I said, I don't have it totally figured out, but I go hard every day because I know that at some point it pays off in a big way. Now, it'll pay off well in the middle, but I know at some point if you just stick to it, and that's one of the reasons I come talk to you guys every day, because I feel like I have something of value to share. And I learn from you guys too, because I get questions in my inbox and comments and things. So it's a two-way street. But I just decided that it was time for me to start sharing here publicly. So after that happened, I started looking around like, okay, what do successful people do? What's going on? So, this is like when the internet first, so I was in college from 93 to 98. So it was about that time when the internet kind of started picking up. And it wasn't, of course, it wasn't fancy as it is right now, but it was fancy enough that I could start looking at people and seeing people. And I just thought about something. And I want to share this too, because I'm a big wrestling fan. I remember, like in the hip hop world, everybody glamorizes diamonds and cars and all that good stuff and having wads of money. I remember, and this goes to the point, I remember the very, very, very first person I saw that had money and glamorized money that was appealing to me was the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, because he would go through his cadence and talk about, the girl stealing, wheeler dealing. When I saw him and he talked about his $25,000 Rolls watch, and I wasted more with wasted beer than most Americans make all year. That was appealing to me. So now I'm just connecting all the dots of all these experiences I had throughout my life to get me to the point where I knew it was millionaire or nothing. And I made my mind up a long time ago that it was millionaire or nothing because I just knew I was worth that because I saw all these other people doing it. And I'm like, if I just find out the information, and not just the information, but if I apply the information also, then I could sit amongst those same people or even surpass those people over a certain amount of time. So I say all that to say, I come all the way back to, it starts every day when you wake up. The whole entire day is going to be dictated by probably your first 25 or 30 minutes. What do you do the first 25 or 30 minutes of your day? Because a lot of days we wake up feeling a certain kind of way. We don't feel like doing it. We're in a bad mood. We got a headache. You're pissed off at somebody. This other person not appreciating you. So you wake up at a certain point. So everybody wakes up. And then at that point, you have a decision to make to decide what the rest of your day is going to be like. And that's why I like when Reverend Ike says you have to tell your feelings how to feel. You have to tell your feelings how to feel. So the first thing I do every morning before I get up, and sometimes even before I open my eyes, I have a meditation of gratitude. I thank for the breath in my lungs, for the opportunities before me today, that whoever I need to meet on this day comes across my path, the tasks I need to accomplish this day, I need to do those. Normally I make the list out the night before, but some days you still want to meditate on it anyway. And I'm just grateful for where I am in life, for health, for health, wealth, and prosperity are my main three. Health, wealth, and prosperity are what I meditate on. Health, wealth, and prosperity all across the board every single day. So I'll do that for 15 or 20 minutes every day before I even get up. Everybody got to go pee the first thing in the morning. Even before I go do that, I meditate before my feet even touch the floor. And another thing I do is I immediately make up my bed. To me, that's a form of gratitude. A lot of people are like, well, it's not a big of a deal. To me, I'm thanking my higher being, because a lot of people don't have a bed. Like here in Houston, it wasn't really that bad when I first moved to Houston 20 years ago, but now there's homeless people everywhere. So there are a lot of people who don't have a bed, and it's just that simple, being grateful for those simple things. So I always make sure before I leave the house, my bed is made up, and I try to make it up as perfectly as I can. The first person to really drill that in my head was my grandmother, which today is her birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, grandmother. Y'all hear me talk about her a lot anyway. I love her to death. I miss that girl. She died in 2000, but she's the one that taught me pretty much everything about manners, cooking, cleaning, how to carry yourself as a gentleman, how to not to take shit off anybody, how to speak your mind, but also be a good person at the simultaneously, and also helping others. She taught me so much. I miss that girl so much. So my grandfather called her Widow Woman. So happy birthday, Widow Woman. I had to throw that in there. But other than that, I just wanted to encourage you to put together some sort of, I don't want to call it a ritual because that'll freak some people out, but put together a routine. I'll use the word routine, which is the same thing, but I'll put it that way so it won't freak you out. Put together some kind of routine every morning that's connected to what your greater end result you want to be. Whatever that is, put it together for yourself. I have some resources coming later on to help you out with this, but I want you to go inside yourself and figure out what is it that I really want out of life and start meditating on that every morning. So like I said, I'll start with just being grateful for being alive, for being healthy, for being wealthy, for being prosperous. I say that to myself in present tense. I don't have all the money I want right now, but I still say it in present tense because I want to bring that money in. So I need to program my subconscious mind to bring that in now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Everything is now. There truly is no future and past. It's just a now at another point along the continuum. Everything is right now. So tell yourself you have health, wealth, and you can steal mine. You have health, wealth, and prosperity right now. So that's what I do every single morning before I get up, before my feet hit the ground, even if I'm out of town, if I go visit my mother or take a trip somewhere, every single morning. That's my routine. And it gets me going. Now, I'm not always as hype as I am, like when I speak to you guys, but I'm still on that mission to go somewhere. There's still something I need to be doing or something I'm accomplishing. So I'm still doing that along the way. So I'm not saying you got to be rah, 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 rah all the time. Now, I'm a rah, rah, rah a lot of the time, but sometimes I just want to sit and chill and drink a bourbon or eat some Mexican food and just chill. Sometimes I don't even say anything. But my message to you today is find something. You need to start conquering your day within the first 20 to 30 minutes of every single day. You need to decide every single day in the first 20, 30 minutes what the rest of the day is going to hold for you. And that way you start having constructive control over your life. Instead of let life happen to you, you start happening to life. So I just want to drop into you early this morning. I'm going to get out here. I got some other stuff to do, some people to go meet, some things to create. Got some wonderful things coming out. The pre-sale of the book is almost, it'll go live either tomorrow or the next day. I have a course coming up also. I just finished a guided meditation CD called Bring Wealth, and I'm going to package all this stuff up real pretty and get those resources out to you. I appreciate you coming and having fun with me every day. I said I was going to do one of these, maybe sometimes two of these a day, but I like the interaction. This really feeds my spirit to do this, and it gets me excited to do it and to encourage you to figure out what is it in your life, what pathway are you slightly off of that if you pivot just a little bit could take you straight to where you need to be. Because I believe once you align, it comes quickly. It's not a long process. A lot of times we jump in and jump out. We want to stick the toe in. How do you ever learn how to swim sticking your toe in the water? You don't learn how to swim. You got to jump in the water. Stop sticking your toe in. Jump in the water. So I'll see you next time. Once again, my name is Norris Williams. Like and share, invest the like and share or comment here. It helps the algorithm grow and it helps our audience grow. Because I want to be able to one day do these and there are hundreds of thousands of people listening. And it's just me sharing. You know, it's not a lecture. It's not necessarily a teaching session. I'm sharing from my heart. And I love doing it. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day. And remember, every single day, take the first 20 to 30 minutes to determine what the rest of your day is like.